Happening now, calls for New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo to resign are heating up. We hear from lawmakers in his own party who say impeachment is likely next. Plus, the Jamestown community coming together to help a family rebound after they were displaced by a fire.
Well, there's one more day of sunshine to go. That's today, and then the heat and humidity is on from here. We'll talk about it next as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Well, there's new trouble on multiple fronts for embattled New York Governor Andrew Cuomo in the wake of the state attorney general's report that found he sexually harassed 11 women. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. As Erica Hill reports, a majority of state assembly members are now showing support for beginning impeachment proceedings against Cuomo if he doesn't resign.
Governor Cuomo's got to go.
As New Yorkers weigh in,
Do the right thing. Resign.
state lawmakers dialing up the pressure.
The governor is not fit to do his job.
I believe that there is sufficient evidence to proceed with an impeachment proceeding.
The time for him to resign is right now.
At least 4 district attorneys have asked the New York Attorney General for investigative materials to determine if any of the conduct in this report is criminal. 2 of those requests citing what Trooper Number 1, a former member of the governor's security detail, told investigators.
In an elevator, while standing behind the trooper, he ran his finger from her neck down her spine and said, "Hey, you." Another time, she was standing holding the door open for the governor. As he passed, he took his open hand and ran it across her stomach. She told us that she felt completely violated.
Touching women that don't consent in those places could be the basis for sexual assault claims.
Cuomo denies ever touching anyone inappropriately, a statement finding little support among his accusers.
When there are 2 women, there are more than 2. We know from experience that it's not just one person, and that's why we need to believe every woman who makes these allegations.
Among the groups voicing their support for the accusers, the New York State Troopers Union, dismayed and disturbed at the report's findings, its president outraged and disgusted. The state's largest public employee union noting safety and security must be the standard of every workplace, calling on the governor to resign.
His resigning would be such a healing move for the state, for women, for his victims, and for other victims who have been triggered and re-traumatized.
The governor laying low Wednesday, releasing a COVID update, but no further comments on the report. Meantime, the impeachment inquiry shifting into high gear. With a Judiciary Committee meeting scheduled for Monday in Albany, a majority of the state assembly's members, they would vote to impeach the governor. 13 Democratic state senators have also expressed support for impeachment.
At this point, I don't expect the best out of this governor. That's why I'm calling on all of us to use that power and actually get this man out of office.
Articles of impeachment could be referred to New York State's Assembly by the Judiciary Committee as soon as next week. Well, a downtown Jamestown convenience store is closed today after a vehicle smashed through its entrance last night. Take a look at the scene. The store employees tell us that the North Main Street 7-Eleven will be closed for at least one day as repairs are made to the door and entryway. No one was hurt after a vehicle plowed through the building at around 9:40 yesterday. The Jamestown Police and Fire Departments, along with the city's Department of Development, were among those who responded there. The crash did cause a good amount of damage to the structure, with much of the door destroyed and some surrounding brick facade as well. Well, by now, all of us are noticing rising prices in our everyday lives. A top Senate Republican is now calling on the Federal Reserve to help curb this increase. But as our Washington correspondent Matt Knadler explains, those higher costs could be here for a while.
From the pump to the produce section, inflation is hitting all of us. Overall, prices are up more than 5% from a year ago, with some industries hit harder than others. Food up an average of 2.5% from last year at this time. Gas, 45%. Used cars and trucks, another 45%.
I'm very concerned about this.
Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey is the top Republican on the Senate Banking, Finance, and Urban Affairs Committee. He says a bottleneck between supply and demand in some sectors is one cause, which also could fix itself in the coming months. But Toomey believes there is a larger problem: artificially low interest rates and too much money pumped into the economy by the Federal Reserve.
The Fed has this ongoing program of buying $120 billion worth of securities every month in and month out, even though the economy doesn't need this.
Is the White House concerned about inflation, and what is being done to potentially curb that?
We're tracking this extremely closely. I would say this is probably the issue I pay the most attention to.
White House economic advisor Jared Bernstein notes some prices have already dropped. He cites lumber, which on Tuesday fell once again, now down 65% from its record high earlier this year.
We've never turned a $21 trillion economy off and then on again. So we don't have a great historical record.
The White House tells me they're following inflation for both the short term and the long term. Some economists are projecting inflation to grow more slowly next year than it is this year.
I don't think waiting it out works, right? The way you've got to do is you got to stop the Fed policy that's causing it.
In Washington, Matt Knadler reporting.
Matt, thank you. Well, the community continues to come together to help a Jamestown family who lost everything in a blaze last month. The Rivera family's home caught fire 2 weeks ago, and since then they've received many donations. Yesterday, much of the donations collected at local business Pearl City Pets was delivered to them via a convoy, which was escorted by the Jamestown Police Department. Everything from household items to clothing was donated over the past 2 weeks, with store owner Jason Skinner among those leading the collection effort.
It makes me feel great that the community was able to come together and be able to show some type of support for this family who lost literally everything.
Additionally, a GoFundMe page started by family friend Rebecca Russo has now collected over $12,000 for that household.
They were really excited. They have told me that they have more than enough stuff that they need, and they're just so grateful for everything that was donated. They basically have all of the household items that they need. They have all of the beds that they need. They've got a TV now and everything, so they're doing great.
Now, the Jamestown Police Department has also started selling armbands to raise money. You can pick them up at the Jamestown Police Headquarters on 2nd Street here in Jamestown. They're $5, and all proceeds from this fundraiser will be donated to the family. Certainly, we wish them well as they continue on their journey past that terrible, terrible house fire last week. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments section down below. And if you plan to pick up one of these armbands, they're certainly a pretty cool grab. It's great to see Joanna, good to see Bronson, Dave, Donna, and Scott. Hopefully you all are having a great Thursday and staying cool out there. Speaking of cool, let's check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's joining us live in studio now with more on the weather and the summertime heat that's returned for this week.
Yes, it is. It's August, but you know what? August is still summer, and we've got some more summer heat on the way. Live look over the Findlay Lake Skycam shows you just a few of those puffy cumulus clouds. 77 right now, but that's the issue right now. The dew point at 61. It has came up from where it was over the past couple of days, so we're dealing with more stick in the air, and that dew point's only going to go up from here. So satellite and radar composite shows you those puffy white clouds kind of moving into the southern tier. These are just high-level cumulus clouds, so no rainfall is going to be coming out of them, but we do have a small chance for a rain shower in the forecast, mainly across northwestern Pennsylvania. So that'd be Warren County. You may get at least a rain shower later this afternoon. You know how that happens. It sparks up with the heat of the day. 77 was the high yesterday. Started the day at 58. 94 and 40 are the record highs and lows for this day. And this is downtown from the HD News Now cam. Shows you a few of those clouds right now overlooking our studio right now. As of noon hour, we're at 75 with a light wind of 3 and that dew point at 60. So again, as I mentioned, that dew point's only going to go up from here. So the forecast for today, let's go one more round with the sunshine. A little bit more humidity than we dealt with, but still manageable. Light onshore wind 77 to 83. Then the heat and humidity is on as we go into the weekend into early next week. Then we get into some showers and thunderstorm chances. We'll time it out with FutureScan and that 7-day forecast later in the show. Justin?
All right, Dakota, thank you. A local high school is giving students the option to either return to in-person classes or continue with remote learning this fall. While Bemis Point Central School District is putting a priority on getting back to face-to-face learning, they are anticipating meeting the needs of some students with medical conditions. In an email to parents overnight, the school superintendent asked them who were interested in going virtual for the upcoming year to fill out a new online form. Parents are asked to fill out that form before tomorrow with a valid medical reason for wanting their child to learn remotely. The school also acknowledged that New York State has not provided much guidance for this upcoming year, and plans are subject to change. Well, to mask or not to mask, that's the question, but the answer might depend on where you live. As Britt Conway reports, every day this week, a different state, country, county, city, or school district announced a decision on masking.
The debate over masking up is heating up, and there have been announcements on the issue every day this week. People will have to mask up in Metro Nashville government buildings now. Georgia's governor says mandates don't work, but the state's most populous county just reinstated its indoor mask mandate. Arkansas's governor says he regrets banning mask mandates.
In hindsight, I wish that had not become law.
And Missouri's state attorney general filed a lawsuit over Kansas City's indoor mask mandate. But perhaps the most heated part of this debate is over masking up in schools. The governors of Nevada and Illinois ordered masks in schools. Some districts in Mississippi and Arizona will require them too. And the mayor of Columbia, South Carolina, made the same decision. But in Colorado, people are protesting masks in schools. And Florida's governor signed an executive order banning school mask mandates. But some districts are pushing back.
We need to keep all protocols, and that includes mask wearing.
Let us get through this surge, and then we can move forward.
Because moving forward is exactly what Delta is doing. The CDC says it now makes up more than 93% of new cases. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Britt, thank you. Coming up, new efforts to crack down on fatal drug overdoses, and later, how your pets can steal the spotlight in a new fundraiser by the Chautauqua County Humane Society. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Located along the Amish Trail, the Randolph Retail Company offers a variety of clothing, jewelry, and gifts for any occasion. Offering uptown merchandise at small-town prices, our locally owned business balances quality and value. With complimentary gift wrap here at the Randolph Retail Company, we pride ourselves in personal service. Check out our Facebook page or stop in today at 127 Main Street, Randolph, just a 20-minute drive from Jamestown.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Have the best summer ever with endless adventures at Girl Scout Summer Camp. Financial aid available, open to all girls. For more information, call or go to gswny.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf has renewed the state's opioid disaster declaration to help the state fight the opioid and heroin epidemic. That, according to his administration yesterday. This is the 15th time it has been extended. The disaster declaration was first put in place in January 2018. It will last 21 days or until lawmakers take steps to extend it by August 26th. There have been over 5,000 drug overdose deaths reported from last year until now. In comparison, the state saw 4,400 drug overdose deaths in 2019. In 2017, there were over 5,000 overdose deaths, which is the most overdose deaths in a single year since the opioid epidemic began. Additional overdose deaths reports from 2020 are expected to come in over the next couple of months. Well, the United States Department of Veterans Affairs began processing disability claims related to certain conditions for veterans exposed to toxic burn pits during their service in Southwest Asia. According to the VA, benefits to service in Southwest Asia include Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and the neutral zone between Iraq and Saudi Arabia, among others. During the global war on terror and the Gulf War, the military used open-air burn pits to burn garbage, medical waste, plastics, and other waste from their installations. According to estimates, at least 230 pits were used in Iraq and Afghanistan alone. These methods were used despite the fact that the United States had outlawed burning pits on American soil due to cancer-causing toxic fumes. This marks the first VA decision to add presumptive illness related to those pits. The move comes after Senator Kirsten Gillibrand joined forces with former comedian Jon Stewart and veterans advocates who pushed for a bill on the issue. Well, every year, around 18,000 Americans are diagnosed with life-threatening illnesses that could be treated by bone or blood cell transplants. But a patient's chances of finding a donor vary based on their ethnicity. Mandy Gaither with more in today's Health Minute.
He's just 4 years old, but Aiden Paredes is fighting for his life.
Aiden was diagnosed with ALL B-cell leukemia in February, and we don't have a match.
Because of his aggressive form of blood cancer, Aiden is in need of bone marrow, but only about 30% of patients can find a fully matched donor in their family. Be the Match is a national marrow registry that links patients with potential donors.
Many times this is their last option, and a patient cannot find a cure without a transplant.
The chances of finding a donor vary based on ethnicity. Of the 22 million people on the Be the Match registry, 79% are white, 48% are Hispanic or Latino. It's even lower for certain other ethnic groups.
You're most likely to match somebody who shares your ethnicity. So for individuals who are of Black, Hispanic, or Asian ethnicity, they're going to have a harder time finding a match.
He just wants to be that normal kid that can run without getting exhausted. Just to be a 4-year-old.
That's why Be the Match and Aiden's parents are pushing for more diverse marrow donors who could literally save a life.
If it's not for Aiden, it could be for anybody else.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. With the pandemic affecting some in-person marrow drives, Be the Match has turned to at-home mouth swab kits, which the organization can mail to anyone who is interested in becoming a donor. For more info, check out their website. It's match.org. Well, scientists say July was a really shaky month at Yellowstone National Park. One expert, in fact, called it a, quote, doozy of a month. The U.S. Geological Survey shared its monthly report on earthquakes this week. It says seismologists reported more than 1,000 minor quakes at Yellowstone last month. It is the most quakes reported at the national park since June 2017. Most of the tremors were part of 7 different swarms. A swarm is a series of small quakes that happen back to back for a short period of time. The agency says the largest swarm saw more than 764 quakes beneath Yellowstone Lake. Wow, certainly lots of moving and shaking. No earthquakes here today, though. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comment section down below. We always love to hear from you. And the good thing is, Dakota, there are no earthquakes, I believe, in our forecast. I guess that's a good point. Are earthquakes forecast? Do you know?
Nope.
No, they're not? They just happen randomly.
You cannot, as far as I know, you really cannot forecast earthquakes. Those are one of those unknown things that kind of happen without any warning.
Right.
And I mean, a lot of it has to do with kind of how the earthquake occurs. And, you know, and obviously if you go back to earth science back in high school, it's, right, you know, basic high school, it's basically the plates moving up and down is what's causing the earth to shimmer. And I mean, you know, as I've mentioned before, there's a set of fault lines that run right through the area.
Right. And they're pretty active, all things considered. I know we've seen recently It seems like an update.
Well, in terms of, the scientific definition, the fault lines that run through the area, which is the Clarendon-Linden fault system, usually those lines stay quiet. But they do send out little jolts of energy every now and then. So that's where most of our seismic activity here in Western New York comes from. Now, if you were around back in 2010, we had that big earthquake in Virginia that rattled the whole East Coast. And the reason for that has to do with the fact because of how the Earth's crust is different from the East Coast to the West Coast. Right. The West Coast, there's more earthquakes out there, so the ground is more compacted, so therefore it doesn't travel as far. Whereas over here, earthquakes don't happen as much on the East Coast, so they end up spreading throughout hundreds of miles.
I remember that 2010 earthquake. I remember seeing my chandelier shake at home, and I was like, what is happening? And so many people felt that. Let us know what you think about this and more in the comments down below. Luckily, hopefully, no earthquakes today out there.
Well, we hope not, but today would be a great day to get out on Lake Erie. Here's the current information for the lake. 72 degrees is the water temperature off Buffalo, 74 off Erie. We'll call it moderate bathwater out there for you. Wind 5 to 10 knots with a wave height of 1 foot or less. So it'd be a nice day to get out, take your boat out on Lake Erie, or maybe even stay by the waterfront. It'll be a nice day for that. So here's what's going on with the weather headlines. Let's keep the party going here. Another day of sunshine, but there will be a small chance for a spotty or isolated shower or thunder shower, mainly across northwestern Pennsylvania. Best chance for that's going to be the Warren County area going down into Elk County. And whack-a-mole storms come our way Friday. You know how these things work. They pop up and fall apart at random times during the afternoon, during the peak heating hours of the day. We can't tell you when or where it's going to rain. Just understand there's a chance for at least a shower or thunderstorm through the afternoon tomorrow. We'll get a few more showers and storms Saturday. Then hot weather is going to be coming our way next week. And this is something we've been hinting about all week, about how much warmer air is going to be surging in. So here's the weather setup. The jet stream pulls north. So when the jet stream pulls north, that ultimately surges warm, moist air from the south, that southerly Gulf humid air. It surges northward, and then that ultimately sticks into the region. So we're going to be talking about 80s and almost near tropical humidity going into next week, and you'll see it on the meter, kind of where we're going in terms of the dew points here. And I think my clicker broke. There it goes. And well, I guess we'll just skip over that. But the muggy meter, it will be going up into that muggy category as we go into Friday. Hey, now going into Friday, we do have the Jamestown Cruise-In back downtown here on 3rd Street, 81 down to 75. And we have put a small chance for a spotty shower or thunder shower into the forecast. So again, just keep your eyes to the sky, have the radar handy, because when thunder roars, you know what to do. Go indoors, and obviously all the people who are going to bring cars out, you might want to cover them up as well. High pressure, big dome of high pressure set up over us. That's a high pressure ridge across the northeast. This is going to stay in place throughout the next couple of days, and the newest run of Future Scan paints you a couple of those isolated showers and thunder showers popping up across mainly Warren County. So that'll be the best shot for any of the rain showers today, partly to mainly clear tonight. And then tomorrow, basically just a repeat, partly to mostly sunny, warm and humid. But again, notice the model popping up a few isolated showers and thunderstorms at times. But again, this is a radar, so again, this is just a computer simulation. Doesn't mean it's going to look exactly like that, but there will be a chance for showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon tomorrow. So the zone forecast, the inland areas today, likely temperatures going around the mid to upper 70s to around 80 in some spots, but it will be another muggy day, more muggier there. Next 7 days coming up, 80 degrees tomorrow, 81 on Saturday, a better chance for those showers and thunderstorms, mainly dry Sunday, but still warm and muggy. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, a chance for scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms with temperatures in the lower to mid 80s, and that humidity almost subtropical. We'll take a break, be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind: to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes! Make a plan today.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back. Pet lovers in Chautauqua County have a chance to share their best pet video while raising money for a good cause. WNY News Now's Mario Cosentino explains.
The Chautauqua County Humane Society has launched a new fundraiser hosting their first annual Pet Film Festival this September. The unique event aims to collect videos of area pets, showing off their tricks, or simply doing things that make you smile.
What we're going to do is we're going to be taking these submissions over the next about 6 weeks, and then we're going to take a week to have some volunteer judges pick out the best ones, and then we're going to have Oscars going to those who win in the categories that we have figured out.
Explained Brian Papalea, the Humane Society's partnership director, who says submissions, which include a $25 donation to the nonprofit animal group, are now being collected online at chqhumane.org.
It's a chance for people to celebrate their pets and all they do for us, which we've clearly learned during this pandemic. You know, we rely on them as much as they rely on us.
Those categories, he says, haven't been finalized yet, but some examples are pet tricks, funny moments, and the cutest pet. Once submissions are organized, there will be an in-person and virtual showcase held on September 25th at 8 p.m. from the Reggie Linnaeus Center for the Arts in downtown Jamestown. The Humane Society is partnering with local comedy duo Karate Sleepover, who will host the showcase.
Anytime we can help the community with any organization, we say yes first and then work out the details later.
Explained member Paul Clemente, who has a personal connection to the organization, as he and his daughter volunteered at the Humane Society together.
For me, it was a great opportunity for me and my daughter to bond. We would come here every Sunday and volunteer. And she was pretty shy, but this is the one place where she opened up and we talked. So we would sit out here in this dog park and just play with the dogs and just chat.
Mario Cosentino, WNY News Now.
Mario, thank you. Papalea says special thanks goes out to Happy Hounds Hotel and Day Spa, Media One Group Radio, WNY News Now, Karate Sleepover, Digital, and the Reggie Linnaeus Center for the Arts for making this film festival possible. Certainly pretty awesome to see. Let us know what you think about that in the comment section down below. I mean, these animals are just so cute, and I think Brian's right, as he mentioned in the story, Dakota. Everybody who has a pet probably in one way or another got closer to them over the last year, or in many cases, the pet got closer to their human.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like, you know, people were stuck inside of the house, so...
Right. What else are you to do?
Yeah, because I think I saw on Facebook, wasn't there like a meme or something of a cat that said something like, you know, you know, I don't know, it was talking like, you know, it was making fun of how people were stuck inside of the house.
Right, and the cat didn't like it because...
Yeah. Like, what are you doing home?
If you know cats, they're not always the most friendly. It's good to see Pam, good to see Denise and Joe. Hopefully you all are having a great day and enjoying yourself out there. That's going to do it for the news today. Of course, the news does continue 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We'll leave you with this live look over Randolph. We're back tomorrow. Hope to see you right here at noon.